Okay, so in this video, we are taking a look at the all-new Samsung Galaxy Tab A9. And I'm kind of happy. Let's go ahead and talk about it. First things first, some of you may be familiar with this already, but to those of you who are not familiar with what this tablet is or what it represents, this is the successor to the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. So we're just going to call this the regular Samsung Galaxy Tab A9. And as you can notice just by the size there, this is targeted at a very specific group of people. It's not meant to be the best tablet out there. It's meant to be a budget tablet, a very portable tablet, that is. Now, I did mention in my introduction that I am happy because the performance here, despite not being able to match that of a flagship device, I was actually surprised to see how snappy this tablet gets, you know, when navigating the internet, you know, flying through some of the work that you do, some of the light work that you're doing. And it may be that I already wasn't expecting much based off of my experience using the Tab A7 Lite, the predecessor to this tablet. If you remember, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you probably know that I was not happy with the performance of the Tab A7 Lite. Sure, I still said at the end of that video that if you absolutely needed to get that tablet, you know, go ahead and grab it just because maybe of the size and maybe how portable it was. But in terms of user experience, I did not like it. It lagged way too much to my tasting, and it would freeze and it would crash. I was not a fan of it. So when I picked up this guy, I figured, you know what, this is the successor to that one. I was kind of expecting that same level of not great performance, but it actually surprised me in a very positive way. It's fairly snappy. It actually moves pretty well. The display is pretty bright. Again, despite being a budget tablet. Remember, this is not set to be, you know, a mid-range tablet or a flagship tablet. So the expectation is not for this to be, you know, beyond the realm of entry-level tablets. But anyways, the physical aspect of the tablet, you will notice that it follows a design that is familiar. You do have your power button, volume rocker. You have a dual speaker setup here. As you can see, the tablet itself is 8.7 inches. So to me, it's almost like a big phone. In fact, there are people who go for the smaller line here, whether it be the A7 Lite or the A9 here, just so that they can use it as a secondary phone, and they would make sure that they go for the 4G model. What I have here is actually an international model, not available in the US. I'm not sure when Samsung is going to drop this in the US, or if it's even going to drop this in the US, but as of the shooting of this video, this tablet is only available in some regional, in some markets. But anyway, so you have a USB Type-C port at the bottom here, along with a headphone jack. That's always good to see there. And of course, on the left-hand side here, you have a slot here for the micro SD card. And with that, you will be able to expand the internal storage of your tablet at up to 1 terabyte. By the way, the base storage, which is what I have here, it's the base model, is 64 gigs, and that comes with 4 gigs of RAM. You could go for the next config, which will grant you 128 gigs of internal storage, along with 8 gigs of RAM. So you'll be able to do a little bit more and have things run in the background with that one. But in either case, you are able to expand the storage at up to 1 terabyte. On the back here, we have an 8 megapixel camera. Again, this is that same camera that you'll find on the A9, S6 Lite, and so forth. So pretty decent when it comes down to, you know, scanning documents and things like that. You'll be fine. And on the front facing camera here, it's a 2 megapixel camera. It's not great, but you could definitely video call on this. But then again, don't expect this to be, you know, top level. As I mentioned, display 8.7 inches. You can watch Netflix here in 1080p. That is actually pretty nice. Picture quality is excellent. Now, I'm not saying that it's the best out there, but for what it is, you know, for something that you're paying, I believe I paid $139 for this. It's pretty good. I like it. I really do like it. And to those of you who are looking for something that is portable, this probably would be it. I know one of the biggest disappointments to a lot of you, a lot of us actually, because I would love to see that. One of the biggest disappointments that we've seen with Samsung is that they still have yet to drop a small tablet that can compete with the iPad mini, you know, something that is small, but yet powerful. We've seen the, you know, the S3 Active, I believe that is, right? That one is fairly powerful, but that is something to use in, rough terrains and things like that. But in terms of a main or a mainstream tablet, let's say a mainstream mini flagship tablet that can compete against the iPad mini, we haven't seen one like that, and I would love to see that. But anyways, I digress. This would be your budget tablet. It would be good for those of you who are on the go, who are on the bus, on metro, whatever. You just need something that is very portable. You could do things rather quickly. This would be the one to go. You will notice that as I'm reviewing this compared to the way I reviewed the A7 Lite, I'm smiling a little bit more. And that is simply because I feel you can do a lot more with this tablet compared to, the predecessor. Anyways, navigating the internet is pretty decent here. So light work, you have no issues. Mid-level work, even, you have no issues. But if you go heavy, I can guarantee you that you will encounter some lag, right? You could do some level of multitasking. You could split the screen in half and then have a floating window and kind of play with that. That worked well as well, when I was testing it out. You may get a little bit of a delay as you're setting that up, but once it gets that going, it actually works pretty well. I was surprised to see that. When it comes down to gaming, Asphalt 9 played pretty well here along with The Chase. I know many of you like when I play that particular game, The Chase. Now, I did notice that when it comes down to downloading heavy games, it's pretty slow, right? It takes a while. Like Call of Duty took like a good 35 to 40 minutes to download. But once you have that in, you can play that without any issues. As I mentioned, Asphalt 9 has been playing pretty well. I did not test out PUBG on here. I did not test PUBG to see how well it plays here, but as you would imagine, playing those types of heavy games on a budget tablet, performance, you should not expect performance to match that of a mid-range or a flagship tablet, right? It's just a way of saying you could definitely download those games here, but, user experience may not be the same. Again, performance for something that cost me $140, I think is pretty good. And by the way, I don't know if I covered this already. The platform here is a MediaTek Helio, I believe G99, right? So it's not top level chipset, right on that, budget line. So it does stay in its lane. It does come loaded with Android 13. And of course, I believe Samsung supports its budget tablets for up to 3 years, I believe, 2 or 3 years. Don't hold me. I know they're always changing now. But anyway, so you have Android 13 here, eligible through Android 15, I'm going to say, minimum, right? You may be lucky at them to push it forward to Android 16. But so far, just put in your head that it's going to be up to Android 15. And of course, security updates up to a year after that. Now, when it comes down to these speakers, as I mentioned, dual speaker setup here, which is good, when you're holding the tablet this way. It's not the loudest, right? It's a smaller tablet. You should not be expecting for this to be crazy loud, but it works pretty decently. It's pretty nice. Sound quality is coming out okay with it. Not the crispiest out there, but still decent sound quality. As far as battery goes, as you can see, the tablet itself is a smaller device. So you have a 5100 milliamp hour battery in here. So pretty close to the battery size that you have on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra or even the S24 Ultra, right? So not that much bigger, but still, because this is a tablet, right, and it's optimized to work pretty well with this tablet, you should be able to squeeze out at least a day out of that, depending on how you use your tablet, right? So, as far as a power user goes, you may be able to kill the battery before the end of the day, but I'm going to say that it's still built to see at least a day. And depending on how you use your tablet, you may even see 2 days. But that's as far as battery goes. Anyways, talking cameras here, as I mentioned earlier, you do have that 8 megapixel camera, good for scanning documents, and the front-facing camera that you can use for video calling. One thing that I need to highlight is that the shutter speed here is not great. As you can see in this video here, you can see me tapping multiple times, and then of course it has those intervals when it takes the pictures, right? So it doesn't necessarily just follow how often you tap or how quickly you can tap. So shutter speed, not that great. Again, it's a budget tablet. You should not be expecting this to match what we have with flagship devices. The display that we have here is a TFT display, 800 by 1340, I believe, in terms of the resolution. So PPI may not be that packed, but because it's a smaller device, you don't really notice. Picture quality is actually pretty decent, right? It's not pixelated or anything like that. It's actually fairly sharp, right, for something here. And I believe the PPI is about 180. But anyway, so that's the display for you. Now, here's my take on this tablet after this initial review. I think it's a go. If you were in the market for a small, easy to carry type of device, something that you're not really expecting to get a ton of performance out of, this would be the perfect, tablet to go for, the perfect Android tablet to go for, I should say, right? I had a very hard time recommending the Tab A7 Lite when it came out. Performance just, yeah, it wasn't there. So this is definitely a better drop compared to that one. So if you happen to be in the market for this, you could go ahead and pick it out, check and see how you like it. As I mentioned, this one is the international version or the international model of this tablet here. It's not available in the US at the moment. If you are really interested in picking up this tablet and you live in the US, your best bet would be eBay or Amazon. I got mine from eBay, and as I mentioned, I paid about $140. But anyways, that was my initial take on this tablet here after using it for about a week, or a little bit of a week. Also, I will be pitting this against its bigger brother, right? The Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. And of course, I'll see if I can, find my Tab A7 Lite somewhere in this house and maybe pit this against that one. But I can already tell you that this is a better tablet. Anyways, let me know what any questions you may have in the comment section. Make sure to like the video, share if you know anyone who will be interested, and most importantly, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the comment section, like I mentioned. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.